Okay, what's up, everybody? Happy Wednesday to you. I want to talk about this topic that sort of came up a lot in 2020. And, I think, like I said, I must have been living in a bubble, in my own little bubble in the Midwest, where folks out here, everybody just kind of get up, mind their own business, go to work. We deal with the personalities of people, and that's just part of life, right? But, I feel like the increase of racism and rhetoric, obviously, it has a trickle down effect into everything that we do in society. And so when I observe people these days, a lot of people are riddled with frustration. Obviously, these are economically hard times for everybody. We're all getting screwed over by the government in very colorful, different ways. There's just a lot of coordination, political coordination, and all of it boils down to how are they going to short squeeze us into owning nothing. Um, and I think, with that, you have a lot of people, like I said, we're all kind of existing in this nation with our own experiences. And, a lot of times, you know, it's easy to be oblivious about what somebody else is talking about or saying because that may have not been your experience. But then when you start to be more conscious of it, you start realizing that maybe you did have the experience, but you didn't let it get to you like other people may let it get to them. So for me, I've always been hyper conscious that there are ignorant people in the world. I've never walked around not believing that there aren't racist people because I've met racist people of all colors. Um, so that's not something that I, was running around with ever. But I will say that the degree of racism that I see today in society is very new to me. And, and I didn't really understand the trickle down effects of it until, I started my career as a financial advisor. And suddenly I'm in this space that is, associated with being for white men. And, again, that's not something that ever bothered me. I went to an 82% white male school. So, I mean, I've always been the elephant in the room. So it's just, it's never bothered me to be the only person that looks like me in the room. If anything, I always kind of look at it as, okay, I'm going to be a face of the change that I want to see so that we can get more people that look like me into these rooms. And a lot of times, you kind of sit back and when you're not in a lot of these spaces, you don't really understand the dynamics of being a person in those spaces. But but I think that, when you do get there, you kind of understand that you don't care about the fact that you're the only person in the room. Especially if you have a really good team of people around you that do support you and they want to see you do well or whatnot. But it's the fact that it's the people outside of the room, right? That, sort you're contending with, especially if you're in a high sales role like financial advising, insurance, anywhere where you kind of in a high level trust level capacity. Um, you know, a lot of things come into play when you're talking to that prospect. And so I've had situations where people were conscious of my color as an advisor more times than not. Actually, this has been the only career that I've ever had where my color was always the consciousness of the people that was dealing with. Like I've never, like I can't remember really having that experience. Um, and I think, when I'm looking at people and my interactions with people in society, there are a lot of good people. There are people who, can value, what you can offer them. in service, and as just a person, right? And then I think that there's other people that will never give you a chance to even put your value on the table because they're riddled with idealisms about people that look like you. And so when I did those videos, just the last couple of videos that I've done, where I'm sort of standing up for the image of Black people in my own little way, and kind of calling out these repetitive patterns of stereotypes, you know, that are sort of projected about Black people. I do that not just to raise consciousness, but to also, talk about the results of those projections. Where, if you are a Black person and you want to go out there, be successful, be a face of trust, right? It's hard when people have these stigmas about you and they're continuously validated in the media by design, but by your people who can be paid to project them, right? And so I think there are a lot of Black people who are pretty independent in their position, who are running around with, high levels of intelligence and grace, and that is what they want the essence of themselves to be, seen as, right? They're still getting lumped up into these perceptions of Black people, and that really impacts how people want to do business with Black people. And so, I always say, there are a lot of firms out there who really want to target Black people to be in certain spaces, but, and they're trying to, change the trajectory, if you will, of the Black American experience by giving people a chance. But it's like, you are the first step in giving people a chance. The second chance is society has to give Black people a chance to prove that we are a stereotype, or we are something above that. And I think that's kind of my vent today, is how Black people, we don't get a chance in society. I mean, there are some people who are willing to give us a chance, and those are really phenomenal people. I work with some of them. But many people in society, in my opinion, they are really addicted to idealisms of Black people. Maybe their experience with certain Black people has helped shape that. So now it's kind of hard for them to understand that any other Black person can be contrary to that experience. And so it is an unfortunate society that we live in. And, I feel like, I guess I'm on like a mission almost. Like we have to change the face of Black. There has to be a face, we have to have faces that represent Black elegance and grace and trustworthiness and ethics, right? And we need more of those. We don't need these hyper activated Black people buying into ideas of Blackness. We really just need the face of grace and the face of control. And I think that, the more we can project that image of Black people, I think the better off our chances of actually succeeding in this society in America is going to be. Because right now, I feel like I don't want to be that person that like I'm giving up and anything like that, but I definitely feel like, I am in a losing game. Like I just feel like I'm in a losing game. And like I said, I don't think it has anything to do with, I don't think it has anything to do with the industry, and it really has everything to do with society. It really does, So that's just, somebody was telling me I should like write a book about the like my experience, being, black in a non-black space, and maybe I will do that. Maybe I'll drop an ebook if I can figure out how to upload this other manuscript that I have just hanging out there. But maybe that will be a project, but I do feel like people need to understand that the faces of any race are so different. And I think that if people just let go of bias, and I know that's hard because, I mean, it's harder to trust people these days more now than ever. I mean, it is one of those things where you don't know who to trust because I think people are just these are like, I just don't understand people's mentality today. This is a totally different type of people, this hyper rate and the racism. Let me tell you, it is everywhere across groups. There is just blatant racism. So it's like, I don't even know how you survive in this climate. Like, how do you survive socially in this climate, outside of just checking out? But if you're like me, you got a sales role and you got to talk to various different people just to grow your business. And I think that's kind of where I'm like, I just don't care for a lot of people these days. Their characters are riddled with just these dark, angry, frustrated spirits. And, my thing is, I'll try to quiet somebody's storm. I'll try to be a voice of reason, but it's just, I don't know. It's like dealing with people these days is becoming more and more frustrating. And I've never, ever felt like this before. So I don't know. Let me know if you guys feel this way too. Like, is it just getting more and more frustrating to deal with other people and to just function and to just build with, some level of peace of mind? Let me know. I mean, I really just, I'm at like standstill. Like, I'm like, I just, I don't know. Like, I was out handing out my business cards and stuff, and that, like, I walk, the lady, she's walking up to me, and I'm like, oh hi, and like she's just like, oh no, and I'm just like, okay, well, you have a good day. It's just like, I am just, I think I need a vacation, y'all. I do. I need a people vacation. Maybe I need to be around a different, I don't know, maybe go to another country. Like, I feel like I need to go to another country and just interact with the people and just have a different vibe of people, because America is a nation that fosters division. And that's why, even when I went to Europe, I did not experience nearly the ignorance that I experienced in America. And I was very shocked about that. So, anyways, you guys have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your week. I am going to just figure out my life because, my life centers around integrating myself heavily in a society of people who are just riddled with passionate bias and ignorance. And I don't know, my tolerance level is starting to get low for my fellow human beings. I only like the people that I like on this earth. I like them. If I meet people, I give them a chance. But it's like, most of these people, it's like, I'll meet a chick in networking. She'll seem pretty cool, and then she'll be like talking about men, and then the next thing I know, I'm like, okay, she's feminist. Okay, that's cool. She has a right to feel that. But then she's talking about killing male children. And that is like the hyper demonic feminist to me. And because I have a son, I'm just like, my brain is like, I'm trying, Lord. I am really trying. I think the Apostle Paul was like, I forgot. I think it was in Romans where he's like, if it gets a little too much, have a little wine. I am about to have a little wine and say, here, brother Paul. But anyways, you have a good day. Bye.